So is this our show?
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so time for laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Corner. With me is Jay. We're here, you might know us from Jock Talk, but we're here to talk all the sports, all the news that is breaking around, and it has been a busy week, and we're here to bring it all to you and our opinions here tonight. First off, I just want to say, hey, what's going on, Jay? How you doing?
Man, I'm always good. We've had, especially with the sports popping like it was, especially basketball kicking in like it's been.
You can always count on the NBA to give us some drama, man. We got a lot to talk about on that. Some NFL breaking news today, a couple of big stories on that. We'll get to that a little bit later. But first, I just want to tell you all about T-shirts. Jay, how do these guys get it for a T-shirt?
Man, there's a few ways to get it. You can jump in, comment, tussle back and forth with us in the comments. And every month we pick the most active fan out there, and we send you a free shirt. Now, if you don't win, you come up second. You don't want to wait. You need it right away. Right now, we still have our wonderful sale going on. It's $14.99. Of course, you got to pay your own shipping and handling. I mean, we're gonna give you the shirt on sale. You got to at least ship it to yourself. So, $14.99 plus shipping and handling. You get your size from small to double XL. We got it all for you.
All right. Well, if people have been living under a rock and don't know what's been going on this week in the NBA, let me recap it for you. There was a blockbuster trade that went on after James Harden, after his game the other night, said that his team was not good enough, which I don't understand, but we'll get into that topic a little bit later as well.
But wait, before we even – not only did he say his team wasn't good enough, but he's been whining since – God, what has this been, 5-6 months?
He's been whining ever since he got in, since he can't win a championship. I'm tired of James Harden, to be honest with you. I think he's an overrated basketball player, to be honest with you as well.
We'll talk about that too.
But anyway, there's news, a 14 deal. There's a lot of players. But anyway, all you need to know is that James Harden is now a Brooklyn Net. And there's a lot of – Google it because I can't explain all to you right now. There's a lot of pieces. Victor Oladipo is now a Rocket. That's another big name. And he's requesting a trade. But my question to you, Jay, is does this make the Nets the NBA favorite?
Yeah. Definitely. Look, you have what made LeBron and the Lakers the favorite last year?
Defense.
Say defense, depth, and then
the Lakers really have that, though.
They did have depth. They had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, KCP, Rondo, Caruso, Kuzma. I mean, yeah, they had depth.
That's seven players, but okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I didn't say but I didn't say LeBron and I didn't say Anthony Davis. That makes 9.
Okay. I get where you're going, but go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And most teams run with a 7, possibly an 8. You know what I mean? So they had 10 suitable players. You know, then you had your vets. You had Jared Dudley. You had, I mean, you with Quinn Cook. You had, didn't they have Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith? I mean, they had plenty of depth, man. And that's the thing. When I looked at the Lakers, it was depth and it was star power. Depth and star power. And I don't care what no one says. When you go up against certain players, you feel a certain way. You know what I mean? When Wesley Matthews suits up and you know he's going against he's suiting up against let me see, Victor Oladipo. Okay, he's shooting up against Victor Oladipo. He's shooting up against Evan Foreigner. He's like, okay, I'm gonna try to eat tonight. Oh, you shooting up against Kawhi Leonard? You shooting up against James Harden? You know what I mean? You're shooting. It makes you feel a certain way. So, star power and depth. That's what I looked at with the Lakers last year. Now, looking at the Nets, star power that star is bright. That star is bright. You got 2 champions, and you got a guy that's been hungry since he left OKC. Honestly, he's been hungry since he left OKC. So now, which brings me to what you were saying on the come in. You think he's the most overrated player in the NBA?
Yes.
Let me hear.
Oh, you ready for me? Okay. I
Let me hear.
was kind of dazing off because he is the most overrated player. And I'll get to that in a little bit. He is a choke art. He can put up all these stats in the world. He doesn't play defense.
No,
He doesn't play defense whatsoever. He takes plays off on the offensive side. He passes the ball and he doesn't do any. He does not move and cut. If you go and watch him, he does not move and cut. James Harden's dribble, pass, dribble, shoot. Am I wrong? And then, I mean, I'm just telling you right now, he'll have all the 40 points. Yeah, he'll lead the league in scoring and everything like that. But what does he do come playoff time? He chokes. He doesn't know how to win. You say he's hungry. Is he? Because he had, even without Chris Paul, in Game 7 a couple years ago against the Golden State Warriors with the Kevin Durant team, they were up double digits going into the third quarter, and he was nowhere to be found. Same thing goes last year or 2 years when they had him on the ropes. Nowhere to be found in Game 6.
Run that slide back.
I'm just saying, with him, he's just an overrated player. The referees don't know how to guard him or call fouls on him. You never even heard of a gather step until James Harden made it a thing, which is actually a travel if you actually look at the rules of the Basketball Association, because there's no such thing as a gather step. They just implemented that for James Harden. Don't look at me like that because you know I'm right. They never had that rule. Now, other players have used it in the past, but they put it in for James Harden. And then going to this trade, I think this does not make the Nets a title favorite. The reason I'm saying this is because, yeah, they're star hungry, but you don't know what you're getting with Kyrie Irving. You don't even know he's going to be back playing this year. The only reason the Nets made this trade is keep KD in Brooklyn or interested in staying in Brooklyn. If Kyrie Irving's not going to play anymore, you don't know where his mind's at. I think he needs mental help, but I hope that everything's all right with his personal issues and everything like that. But you don't know what's going on with him. He's been MIA for 3 weeks. No one knows what he's doing. He's at a birthday party without any mask on or anything. He acts like he doesn't want to play. And then, so the Nets basically traded off LeVert and Dinwiddie. Where's your defense? Nets are going to have no defense this year whatsoever. They just traded a couple of their best defenders to the Houston Rockets. Now, we'll say this. The Houston Rockets got a whole lot better than what the Nets just did for their whole rosters. Yes, the Nets have 3 superstar players, but these 3 superstar players don't coexist with what – okay, if you look at the Nets, what is Steve Nash? What's his offense? Motion, pass, the beautiful game of basketball, right? Pass here, pass there. Ball doesn't stick. What does James Harden do? What does Kyrie Irving do? Dribble. And Kyrie win goes. Kyrie's always been good. Ever since he thought the world was flat. This guy, and I love Kyrie Irving. I think he's one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen in my life, if not the best ball handler. But these Nets players, they got worse because they want to keep KD, in Brooklyn, because let's just face it, we don't know what you gain from Kyrie. And if you don't get Kevin Durant, another superstar, he ain't staying in Brooklyn. He's going to request a trade by middle of the year. So the Nets just made this trade to keep Kevin Durant. Let's just face it right there. So my opinion, I think the Rockets did it better. They got numerous first-round draft picks. They got younger. And now Victor Oladipo wants to stay. I heard there's a rumor that he wants to get traded. I don't know why no one wants to play with in the Houston organization, football and basketball. Something in the water in Houston. I don't get it. But
well, first of all, look, one of your big 3 icons is being to me pushed out the league.
Who, Kyrie?
No. Before we get on that, I'm gonna bring this up because I've been watching this and it's actually been really getting on my nerves. DeMarcus Cousins is being targeted by the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins is the dude hasn't played in a year and a half.
Right.
So before he went into his injury spiel, yeah, he was getting into it. Yes. I mean, he made a name for himself and he kept it consistent. However, it's been a year and a half. He comes back and immediately, the refs are back on him. And what happened the other day with Morris, if you ask me, I don't believe that he should have been ejected. And when I say that, I know he didn't get ejected on that exact play. He got ejected the next play with the LeBron James faker, overreacting, and that even they reviewed that play, and that should have been a personal foul. But because it's DeMarcus Cousins, that was their way of getting him out because they wanted to throw him out for the Morris stuff. So I think Houston has a long way to go if Victor Oladipo doesn't stay. If Victor Oladipo stays, they have a good nucleus to start something. And everyone's saying, they're building for the future, which they are, but they can flip these picks. They can still move these picks around and pick up another piece, because we keep talking about DeMarcus and Wall and Oladipo. Christian Woods is balling. And if Christian Woods keep balling like this, it ain't going to be about DeMarcus Cousins. It's going to be about Christian Wood, John Wall, and Oladipo.
Which is fine by me.
You know what I mean? And if Oladipo does want to get traded, the Washington Wizards, they can go ahead and ship Bradley Beal back over with John Wall over here in Houston and tie one of them first-round picks with Oladipo. So I agree that the Rockets made out on this trade. 5 years from now, we'll probably look back at this if the Nets don't win a championship and say yes. But again, man, you say what you want about Kyrie Irving. Everybody say what they want, but what if this was a power play to get this trade to go through? What if this was a power play to get the Nets to pull the trigger? Like you said, if Kyrie doesn't play, then we got to get another superstar.
Dude, the thing about Kyrie Irving is this guy's been, dude. There's people around the league says he's even mentally helped. Like it's not just this time. There's other instances going on. I mean, dude, the guy is just. I don't think he loves being a professional basketball player. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. I really don't. Let's face it. He had that shoulder injury right before the COVID happened, right? Like he was supposed to be out. But then COVID happened. They stopped play for 6 months. He was healthy to go in that bubble, but yeah, he didn't want to go and support his teammates. Fair on that? He didn't want to play. Don't give you know I'm right. Then okay.
Let me say this, Trey. And this person I'm going to separate from the rest of the NBA. Normally, I would agree with you on the way that he was sitting out. But Kyrie Irving, I don't know if you were paying attention to a lot of the things he was saying, and I don't know if you were like watching any of the like podcasts and things he was making appearances on or anything. What Kyrie Irving was talking about, man, was about basically civil rights and inequality with race. That's what Kyrie Irving was sitting out for. And what Kyrie Irving was talking about was the inequality also of how the players and the personnel group versus how much the owners make. So what Kyrie Irving, and he wasn't talking about him. Will. No, but he wasn't talking about himself, obviously. He makes great money. But what he was saying is, hey, if there's a guy on the bench, he should be making enough to where you can tell he's an NBA basketball player. So what Kyrie Irving was trying to present was a players owned league, where the players amongst the league actually have partial ownership into the league itself. So do I agree that Kyrie Irving has some very stretched out views? Heck yeah. But this past sit out for the bubble was a totally different mindset of him. And everybody was even blowing up like, oh, at the time when he said it, like, oh, that's crazy. And but dude, if you look around and you see, the way, the businesses are done and the moves are done in these organizations, in the NBA especially, they bully people out. They trade people when they don't want to be traded, stuff like that. So I can understand where these players are coming from with wanting more say in staying. Because if you look at the 90s, when we talk about these great teams, we talk about the Utah Jazz, that nucleus stayed together for how many years?
Over a decade. I know that.
When we talk about the Chicago Bulls, that nucleus stayed together for how many years?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we can pretty much go down the line and say the nucleuses stayed together. And we see so much radical movement in the NBA now, from not just players like Mr. Prima Donna Harden, but from players that are getting moved around and don't want to be. So, hey, DeMar DeRozan is still mad. Still mad. He wanted to be in Toronto for his whole career. So I get the mindset and I understand where he's coming from with having a players owned league. Do I think it's right what he's doing right now? No. I mean, I do understand him in the sense of there's COVID going on, there's sensitivity in family. I don't know if he lost any family members amongst this, so it's making him feel different. I don't know, anything like that. So with that being said, I'm not against it.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, I don't need. I think more people would be more sympathetic to Kyrie Irving if the viral videos of him did not go out and him chat. That's all like. If you're just like, hey, I'm out for personal reasons, then we're like, all right. But then the video surface of him not wearing a mask, him at a birthday party, him doing and then not letting the net. Like Kevin Nash didn't even know. Kevin Nash, Steve Nash. Sorry, watched a little bit of wrestling show the other night.
Wrestling shows on Sunday.
Yeah, Steve Nash. I'm sorry. He didn't even know Kyrie wasn't even playing until he didn't show up. I mean, tell me this. If any one of us just did this, what all these NBA players, professional athletes are doing, would we even have a job? That's where people are getting upset about. Like, they signed a contract for all these and yet you're not honoring that contract. That's where people are starting to get upset about, because we can't just go out and protest and quit our jobs and do all. We work for the employers. We have to go by their set of rules. If that makes any sense. That's why America. Now, I know it's a different mindset. I know it's a different era. I know all that. And I know they want equal injustice, which I totally get. I totally understand that they need to do that. And I'm all for First Amendment rights and everything like that. But that's where people get Kyrie Irving kind of.
Let me ask you this. Don't you think it's a double-edged sword? Because people also get on him for not him personally, but people also get on these athletes for not using their stage to speak out.
No, because a lot of people watch sports to get away from everything that's going on in the world. That's their time to get away from it, because they're. And
I agree with you. That's what it's about.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying. I hate touching the subject. I really, because I like both, because I just talking as a regular American. That's where people are getting upset. It's because they see these these people are not listening to these athletes. I'm just going to be straight up on. They can do whatever they want. They're not to talk about inequality, injustice, and everything like that. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to leave this and we'll move on to a different topic. But some people they're not going to take the athlete, no matter what it is, seriously about discrimination. They're really not, because they see them playing a game that everyone loves to play for multi-million dollars, and they're not taking it serious. And we're working 9 to 5 and struggling, and that's where people are like. That's why they don't do it. That's just my opinion. But I think that's why you're being such a disconnect.
And I think that's why it makes it a sticky situation for the players, because they're one second they feel like they're not going to get listened to because of that, and the next second they feel like if they don't say nothing, it's going to be a bad position for them to be in as well. But in regards to the trade itself, no, I think that where the Nets really did hurt, and you kind of alluded to that, was the defensive end of the defense side of the ball, because Jared Allen is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And his rim protection, I don't care what nobody says, is next to none in the NBA. Maybe Rudy Gobert when he's fully healthy and playing well. But him leaving, and then Prince as well. He was off the bench. I mean, everybody was talking about LeVert because he was putting up big numbers, but Prince was out there and playing very, very, very good basketball and very good defense. So losing them to the Cavaliers got a steal there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. The Cavs got significantly better. That's for sure. Rockets are going to get better for future references. They're not going to do anything this year. The Nets basically had death, and they basically just threw it all away for a championship, or now a bust because of the situation. And then the Indiana Pacers, I don't know what they're doing over there. I mean, they had a good team.
That was a great move for Indiana. Great move.
I guess
Oladipo's leaving. Oladipo's gone after this year. He was gone. He was not re-signing with Indiana. So now you get rid of Oladipo and you get LeVert and build for the future. Right. All LeVert wanted was his own team. All he wanted was to start and play.
Yeah, and he's going to get that. He's going to be the star player on that team because they have can't remember. They had Oladipo and then
Miles Turner.
I can't pronounce Turner.
TJ Warren.
Who's that? Who's Sabonis? That's the guy I was thinking of. Sabonis. He was an all-star last year. He's come up. And then that other guy, Brogdon. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's coming to light this year. Yeah. So that Pacer team should be good, but I don't know. Indiana has never they always choke. But
So, question:
that's just
do the Rockets pair Oladipo on one of these draft picks and go get somebody else? If they do, who should be their target?
hey. I don't know, man. The NBA is so whacked out right now. I just don't. Who would want to go play with in the Houston organization right now? No, I'm just saying. It seems like nobody wants to be there. James Harden doesn't want to be there.
But you got all the
Westbrook
players
didn't want
gone.
to be there.
You got
Well, I understand that. Now Oladipo doesn't even want to be there. He hasn't even played yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the mindset is in the Houston Oregon. And they have a good young squad. John Wall is balling this year. He's averaging 18 points, and he's only going to get better. Wood, like you said, is a beast in the middle. He stud. And they get Oladipo, and then they get Aaron Gordon back healthy. And then PJ Tucker's a dog. I mean, they have a good squad. And then I like their head coach in Silas as well. I think he's a better coach than D'Antoni. D'Antoni shouldn't be coaching the NBA. That's just my opinion. But anyway, I just don't know who they can go get because honestly, I don't know who they need. I mean, they have 3-point shooting. They have young players. I mean, would you try to go get a Sexton or I don't know who they need because they're.
You talking about Colin Sexton?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of players who.
Because you got Wall.
Yes.
You got Wall. You got what's his name? Christian Wood. Right now you got PJ Tucker there. You just picked up Karukas. You just picked up Exum. Let's just take without Oladipo. Let's take without Oladipo because we're talking about trading him. Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
So
that's a good team. I would stay packed with your first round picks because you're not winning the championship this year anyway.
I get rid of Oladipo in the first round pick and go grab a beast of a small forward.
Yeah.
Somebody that could just. What about? I mean, didn't they want to get rid of Wiggins earlier? Golden State called him.
The Houston Rockets and Golden State Warriors are not going to make a trade. I'm going to guarantee you that right now. But anyway, yeah. So that was a good topic. We got off track a little bit, but that's what the sports corner is about. Me and Jay, we start going talking, and But right now, what's going on is the NFL. And we have divisional playoffs this week. And one team that's not going to be into divisional playoffs is none other than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nate, slide. Thank you. We know that they went 11-0. They're starting off. Let's just be honest. They're the crappiest 11-0 team in the history of the league. They have a lot of issues going on. Where do you think they need to start to move on and be better and contend for a Super Bowl? Where do you think they need to go ahead and start moving on with their team?
I mean, are they? Look, Ben Roethlisberger's on contract for one more year. His salary's up in 2022. You have to go all in one more time, I guess. I mean, you have to. You have to. Unless do you move on from Ben this year?
You asking me? I can answer that right now.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. If you see what Ben did the last 8 games? He's horrible. This is a guy that doesn't come in shape. He doesn't take care of his body. He looks old. Where you see Tom Brady, Drew Brees, 43 and 42 years old, and they take care of their bodies. And Drew Brees is I think this is last year, he's kind of looking old too. But Tom Brady's still swinging it around. And you just look at Big Ben. He looks old. He looks 54 instead of 37. Let's just be honest. So if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm moving on from Ben. I know you have one more year, but just to say Ben from Ben because Ben's not going to retire. He needs to say Ben because he's done. I'm just be straight up. They need to put all their eggs in the basket to go get Deshaun Watson. I'm just telling you that right now.
Who do you get rid of to go get Deshaun?
I don't care who you throw. You're throwing a receiver or two. I don't give a crap. You need to do whatever it is.
First round pick. Claypool, or you gonna get rid of Juju?
Me personally, I'll get rid of Claypool.
But that's what makes their team so good, man. Is those
Now you have Juju,
is
you
that
have,
receiving core? They
you have
they got
Juju,
Eric Ebron, they got Claypool,
Ebron, Claypool.
Ebron, they got Claypool, and then they got Juju. That's what makes them good. So you get rid of one of them, now you put Deshaun Watson in the same situation he was in Houston.
No, dude. Yeah, but Watson gives this like Ben Roethlisberger can't run. He can't extend a play. That's why he was throwing the little dink and dunks at 2-second passes. Watson can extend plays for you and get those receivers more wide open and give you a better opportunity. I mean, Ben just stayed in the pocket and he took too many hits. But they have Washington they can get rid of as a wide receiver. They have a ton of wide receivers that they can easily get rid of. But let's just be honest with ourselves. They need to go out and go get a running back in the draft, the first off and foremost. They don't have a running back. And I love Connor. I loved Connor, but he just went downhill this year, injuries, stuff like that. But honestly, you're doing anything you can to get ETN from Clemson. That's who I'm getting if I'm Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a perfect fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers in their offense. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can return kicks. He's fast. He can run over people. He's just a great running back in Clemson.
Well, I'll be the first one to tell them right now, good luck, because if he falls to Arizona, we're going to take him.
I don't know. I don't trust Arizona.
Yeah, no, that's what we need.
But let's just be honest with yourselves. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're pretty much set on defense. I mean, they have a pretty good defense.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with you, though, 100%. It's not even that James Conner is going downhill. It's not even that he's too hit and miss as far as being available to play. Every time I turned around this year, even when they were on their win streak, he was unavailable for some reason. And then he come back and he have a slow game, then he have a good game, then he'd be banged up. He'd come back, he have a slow game, he have a good game, and he'd be banged up. And so they need, and I'm seeing it more and more, as we go on and on, two backs that are more than serviceable. Look at Cleveland. They got Kareem and Chubb. I mean, I can go around and give you a couple pairs, So I definitely think they need to go get a running back. I don't think they need to get rid of James Conner. But I think they need to stay with Ben one more year. Looking at their roster, looking at what they have available, I don't think it's a good idea to cut from him this year. They got one more year with him under contract. Okay? Maybe they go and draft a quarterback because they can't get Deshaun. If they're able to trade Ben Roethlisberger in the trade with Deshaun Watson or something like that, maybe I agree with
that. Won't happen. Ben Roethlisberger, if he gets traded, he's retiring. He wants to finish his year as a Steeler.
Correct.
But honestly, it doesn't have to be Deshaun Watson. Wentz is out there. They can go get Wentz. Even though I don't like Wentz, I'm just telling you, they need a mobile quarterback who can extend plays and get those receivers long enough time to get down deep. Because these 2-second passes, dink and dunk, it wasn't working. Everyone figured it out right away. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, they're not a good team.
Was it the fact that they figured it out, or was it what you said in the beginning that James Conner wasn't extending that? Because Pittsburgh has always been play action killer.
Right, and they didn't have a run game this year, and they went away from that.
Because they didn't have a running game.
Exactly. Who's the running back? Yeah. They have no run game.
I don't know if it was necessarily the receivers, bro. Ben Roethlisberger, you're right. He can move around.
Dude, the receivers led the league in drop passes this year. They were horrible.
So
they were horrible. Yeah. Some of them, did you not see Big Ben? Come on. Did you watch any Pittsburgh Steelers game? Come on, man. This guy is, he can't even throw for Hail Marys. They have to bring in a backup quarterback. This guy can't even make it to 50 yards anymore, dude. He's old. He took too many hits. Doesn't take care of his body. They need to move on from Big Ben. Let's just be honest with you. I almost guarantee you, all the fans out there are agreeing with me on that one.
But how do you do it? You're saying you go out and sign another cornerback, and you just cut him and eat that salary.
Who?
Ben.
Yes, he only has 1 year left. Who cares? Eat it.
So who? That's a lot of money on quarterback in 1 year, man.
Oh, you see what the quarterback ratio is going for right now? You see what Watson's just signed for, Mahomes, everything? I think they can eat it for one more year.
right.
I'm just telling you the Mooney family or whoever owns the Steelers. I'm tired. They know how to make the salary cap work and everything. I'm just telling you, Big Ben is not the answer. Even if you bring him back next year, you're not a Super Bowl contender. And if you bring in Watson, I think you have a better chance because he extends the play and he's a winner. And Ben Roethlisberger's been there, done that. And he's just old and fat. And I'm sorry, I like Big Ben, but now he's done. Ever since his injury last year, he hasn't come back and been the same guy. You're not going to win with Big Ben, and I really do. I love Big Ben. He won 2 Super Bowls. You've done everything you can for this franchise. It's time to move on. Every good thing must come to an end. That's just my personal opinion.
And I can't argue that. I mean, the dude, he was out for almost the whole year last year. And
it's a whole lot different getting hurt at 36 than
correct.
It is at 26.
Correct.
Let's just be honest.
And you can think all you want, but that next year when you go in there, you do feel it. And he did look like he just came back from a year being injured.
Mm-hmm. And he has another year, and he always comes in the camp out of shape. He just never takes care of his body like a Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and those quarterbacks in the league. So
I just think it's a lot of money to eat. That's all.
Well, it's the NFL. Who freaking cares? They're going to make billions and billions of dollars. I think they can be all right.
But the adjusted salary cap is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I think they're losing actually a lot of $22 million this year or something.
More
That's
than
all
I
right.
think it was.
The Steelers always make it. Mike Tomlin's a good head coach. Hell, if you have to, okay, if you're worried about the money situation, play Mason Rudolph. He went 8-8 last year. I'm just saying. Tomlin knows how to win, and Tomlin's a good coach, and he deserves another championship, but he's not going to get it with Big Ben. I'm just
you go into the season with Mason Rudolph, you might as well tell Tomlinson to find a new team. He gonna get axed next.
Well, I'm just telling you that if you want to win, you're not going to win with Big Ben. You're not going to win with Mason Rudolph either. But if you're worried about that salary cap, then just play Mason Rudolph for 1 year. Then next year, go off and get a quarterback.
Still win 11 games with Ben.
You still go in. Look what it got you. Ooh, 1 extra week with an extra hit, and you're on the couch eating Cheetos.
You just saved all the losses for the end. That's all.
And let's be honest with you, they should have lost a lot before then too. So let's don't get started on that.
Yeah, because they would have lost that Baltimore game.
Okay, Nate. I don't know if you have this slide up or not, but I'm going to talk about it since we're in NFL talk right now. Big news is coming out. We got Bill O'Brien to the Alabama as an offensive coordinator. I'm interested to hear how Jay feels about this. I think this is the 9th offensive coordinator in the last 11 years for Nick Saban. Apparently, people think highly of Alabama's offensive coordinators, and then they don't do anything after they leave. So is this a good hire for Alabama? Do you see their offense still going up higher, or you see a little shrinkage in the point total next year?
This is a cheat code. That's exactly what this is. This is a cheat code. They had a good offense this year. Mm-hmm. They did good. They put it together. They were able to spread the ball around between a guy that there was a rushing, a power back / speedster when he wanted to be, that needed the ball, needed to eat. Then they were able to spread the ball around to 2 prolific wide receivers. You know what I mean, and not hurt themselves doing it. And really clicked more than I've seen any Alabama team as of late, on offense, as a unit, honestly. So it's scary to see the team that they just had, and how they were clicking on offense in so many different ways. And now you get Bill O'Brien in here. You know, just like we talked about this week on Jock Talk, when you get into college sports, it's about recruiting. Now you got Nick Saban and O'Brien that can do their own thing. You know what I mean? So that's dangerous.
You think Bill O'Brien's a better offensive coordinator than the previous? What's his name? Sarkisian?
It's not that I think that he's a better offensive coordinator, but Trey, if me and you are the coaches and you're just a fantastic, head coach, period. I'm a genius play caller, and they don't know that I'm calling the plays. They just know that you're the head coach, or vice. We're a team. He's a head coach that has been around great offensive coordinators and great defensive coordinators in the NFL for quite a few years. And let's not sit here and, BS, but he played with J.J. Watt. He played, he coached J.J. Watt. He coached. So it's not just about the offense coordinator. It's about having that coach in that room, in that coach's room.
Yeah. Let's just say I don't know. I'm iffy. I'm 50-50 on this because I just remember Bill O'Brien from the last 3 years with the Houston Texans and how abysmal that was. Now, granted, he was a head coach at Penn State. Oh, dude, their offense was horrible last year in Houston.
Last year, yeah, but
it was all Deshaun Watson. I'm just saying that's what I remember. Well, that's where I was getting at. It was good, and then it kind of digressed year like little by little.
Agreed.
Yeah. But if you remember, he was a head coach of Penn State during that scandal era, and he did a phenomenal job with the Penn State team. That's what got him the Houston coaching job as well. So, and this is a perfect time for Bill O'Brien to come into Alabama because they're losing all their stud makers. They're losing Waddle. They're losing Smith. They're losing Mac Jones probably for the next year. So it's going to be a whole new core. And I think they're going to change the offense to whatever the quarterback and receivers need. And I think Nick Saban has an eye up of what his team's going to be next year. And I think that's why he got to pick Bill O'Brien because he knows that's where you get Nick Saban. He's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He already knows who he recruited, what they're good at, what they're not good at, and he brings in the right coach. Like this team, they need a big play call. They had a great play caller last year, and he got a head coaching job at Texas. So who knows? It's too early for me to tell. Do I think that this Alabama's offense is going to be as elite as last year's? Dude, that was one of the best offenses I've ever seen when you have a receiver in Smith, Devontae Smith, who's double-teamed, triple-teamed. He can still get wide open at 10 yards. You had a running back in Najee Harris, who was a beast for 4 years. You have Mac Jones, who came in after Tua. That team was elite. That team was a special team. It's probably the one best offense I've ever seen out of Alabama, to be honest with you. So what I'm getting from Bill O'Brien is I don't know because I don't know who the Alabama quarterback situation is, who their next top receivers are going to be, everything like that. So who knows? I mean, it just depends. I guess
it may not even be for this year. It may not even be for this season. He may have hired Bill O'Brien for 2 seasons from now to help him recruiting for the national class.
You're probably right. Who knows what Nick Saban's doing? I hate Nick Saban. I don't like him. I don't know why. If you hold a gun to my head, why do you not like Nick Saban? I couldn't tell you. I just don't like him.
Because he's been a dominant.
That's not even it. I like dominant. I like Phil Jackson. I like winners. I'm not against it. I just don't like Nick. I guess it because his attitude, his snarkiness, thinks he's better than everybody. I don't know. He's a great head coach. He's one of the best head coaches I've ever seen in my life. But I just don't like him. I don't know why, but he's a hell of a coach, and he knows everything better than we do. So,
do you also think that this year showed him that these offenses are catching up to his defenses? Because Florida went ham on him. Texas A&M, huh?
No, Texas A&M won 24 points. Ole Miss scored almost 50. Ole Miss almost scored 50.
But again, 50 is ridiculous on Alabama, but. Even those 20s and stuff on Alabama in recent years were rare.
Well, I'm just going to be – they were young on the defensive line. They were. I think they started like a lot of underclass freshmen this year in the defensive line. So they're going to they got better throughout the rest of the year. Now, their secondary, probably their strong suit, they're losing their strongest secondary guy they've ever had in their life. And Trevavian, whatever his name is, quarterbacks didn't even throw to him. He had the Deion Sanders effect. So I don't know they're catching up to him, but Nick Saban's adapting to this. Because you would ask me this 5-6 years ago, Nick Saban was going to stick to his game plan, power run, play action, whatever the case may be. Now you're starting to see him speed up the tempo because remember, he complained about this speed up tempo because he didn't like it. He's like, we're not getting time, and I guess that's where I kind of hated Nick Saban, because he always felt like he was a whiner if something didn't go his way or not. But now he's seeing him adapt, and he's mastered it better than these coaches who brought it in.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like, though, Florida and them, well, the Ole Miss especially, but he's seen that he's going to get into shootouts, and he needs to be able to score.
Well, especially with the mobilized, because we remember in the past, he was not good defending the mobilized quarterback.
Not at all.
Johnny Manziel, Sean Watson tore him up both in national championship games. Johnny Manziel tore him up twice. 2 times he played him. So he's adapted. Congratulations. It took him 4 years, but now he's mastered it, and now we're all living in Nick Saban's world. Because I thought Dabo Swinney was the best coach in this era, but we proved again that Nick Saban – he might be out for the playoffs for 1 year, but he'll come back with a vengeance and put together a strong powerhouse team. So he knows what he's doing when he hired Bill O'Brien. The whole sports world thinks it's the stupidest move in the world, which probably means it's a good move, because Nick Saban's proved a lot of us wrong before. How many times do we sit back here and be like, oh, none of us thought that would be a good hire, but look at him. You know what I mean? So
too many.
Now, while we're in college, there's a college coach. Well, used to be college coach, 3-time national champion. He accepted a job. I would consider him, if he stayed in the game long enough, to be the best. If he stayed in the football, he would have been the best college football active coach today. That is Urban Myers. This guy wins everywhere he goes in the college level. He just signed a deal to be the Jacksonville Jaguars head football coach today. Does this mean that Jacksonville has a lot made a good hire with Urban, or should they have gone somewhere else?
So this one's a hard one to answer.
I had it on my other show earlier, so I'm just report to you.
There's nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else. And let's be honest, the Jags have tried everybody else. like, the Jags have tried everybody else. So, no, absolutely not. There's no other where to go. There's no other place to go. Is this a bad move? Absolutely not. He's a champion. You just want to win games. At this point, you're just trying to win games. Yeah, go get the champion. So, and again, I'm going to repeat myself. There's nobody else to go to.
What I'll say about Urban Meyer, this is a perfect spot for Urban Meyer. It really is. That's just it. They have a good defense that can improve, but the defense isn't bad. They're getting a quarterback this year in Trevor Lawrence. He's going to have some – and he worked with Tim Tebow. He worked with who was the Washington football team guy that just got kicked out. I am losing names today. I am not on my A game today. Who's that guy that just went to a strip club and lost his captain and then they got cut? Haskins. He did things with Haskins. He did things with all these quarterbacks. He's a quarterback guru. I think he's a great guy. I just said great guy because I saw that on the screen. Good job. He is a great guy. But no, this is the perfect fit for him because, one, Jacksonville, they need to try anything in the world to get people to come to their games because there's no one ever at these games. Two, he's won everywhere he's been. Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, Ohio State, all improved their win margins whenever he was there. Checkmate. So, with him getting Trevor Lawrence, they have a great running back in Robinson. They shore up that offensive line. That defense is already good. Get a couple players here and there. This team's going to be good in a couple of years. Might surprise some teams this year that they might be a lot better than what people think. And Urban Meyer is because everyone's like, oh, you can't bring the college game to the NFL. Well, guess what? We're seeing the NFL adapt to the college game. We're seeing college systems in the NFL right now. And Urban Meyer is an offensive mind genius. He'll put Trevor Lawrence in the right position to be a winner, and you'll see that through his whole career in Jacksonville. I think it's a good hire for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, no, it's a great hire for the actual organization itself. But He's coming in. You said it's a decent team. I say this team is horrible. I mean,
Well,
you guys. I mean, they got Cam Robinson on the offensive line. They need a little bit of house help.
Well, you say they're horrible, but honestly, don't you think the organization was? You don't know how horrible they actually. Remember, this team's 2-3 years ago away from the AFC Championship game. I mean, yeah, Jalen Ramsey and all them player, whatever.
Jalen's gone. Calais is gone.
Yeah, but they didn't have a.
Gone.
They don't have a quarterback, and now they're fixing another quarterback. Yeah, it's going to be little hiccups here and there, but they have their franchise quarterback.
But who's he throwing to? Conley and who is he throwing to?
That's what the draft is for. I'm telling you.
But they're about to use the draft.
Urban Meyer would not took this job if he had something. I guarantee you, he knows something. He knows something. It's going to be a blockbuster trade or something.
What I do like is they got Miles Jack, they got Josh Allen, they got I'm
not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying they're going to improve next year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely improve.
They'll
definitely improve year after year.
Now, me personally, I wish he would have went to Las Vegas or Los Angeles. That's a better
to the Chargers.
Yes, you have Justin Herbert. This team went 7-9 last year.
Did the Chargers do to get fired?
Yes. And the Chargers organization proves that they'll stick with the head coach longer than 1 year. If you have one down year, because the head coach last year, he went 5-11 with Phillip Rivers and a whole bunch of Pro Bowlers, and he went 5-11. This year he went 7-9. They finally kicked him to the curb and said, "Screw you, you're out. You're finally." But it took him 5 years to do that. 5 years. He only went to one playoff. He only been in playoffs once. So that organization, they prove that they're willing to be patient with the head coach. That's why I kind of wish Urban Meyer would have went there. But Jacksonville's probably the same way too, because Jacksonville fans really don't care one bit or another. They really don't care about professional sports. I don't know why they have a professional team in Jacksonville, because that's a college town. Let's just be faced. It's all about Florida Gators over there in Jacksonville and everything. Now, if you bring in Tim Tebow as your guy, you might have something. But
I mean, honestly, I'm glad he went to Jacksonville, not LA. LA, the media would have got on Urban Meyer. It's a big name. They would have ran that.
I wouldn't think so, because if he went to the Rams, if the Rams vacancy was open, yes, because it's all LA Rams. No one really talks about the LA Chargers. That's like
that's
Clippers.
Boo-boo right now. They're boo-boo. They came from San Diego. They're still boo-boo.
Exactly. That's why. And so if he goes to the playoffs and gets to the AFC Championship game, all that's forgiven and everything's great, and he's the best coach in the world.
And if I'm just saying, gets dragged to the mud and kicked into the ocean.
No, because he's like the Los Angeles Clippers in the NBA, in the LA team. If you want to go, because they don't really care. They don't care. The Rams are the Lakers. The Clippers or the Chargers are the Clippers. So they really don't care
like that.
Let's just be honest, because the Clippers are actually renting the Rams stadium from them. That's basically what it is. They didn't have money to build their own stadium, so they're renting it from the Rams. Huh? No, the Clippers are too. The Clippers are doing that too. But I'm just saying
the Clippers, the Lakers, and
the Clippers. Yes, the Clippers are the whatever. I'm already messed up my whole thing. Everyone knows where I'm going with this, I hope. But
yeah, no, you didn't mess it up. Go ahead.
But yeah, I just think that the Chargers, I think they don't have much of a fan base there because that's Rams country, and I think that I don't think they care as much as now. Sean McVay, if he didn't win that playoff, there's going to be a lot of heat coming from him after going to the Super Bowl and not making the playoffs last year, and then this year getting out one and done. So the Rams, that's why I say the Rams are like the Lakers. Everyone cares about the Rams because they were Los Angeles Rams before they moved to Oakland. Now they're back in Los Angeles, and everyone loves the Rams in Los Angeles. So that's all I'm saying. That's why I wish he would have went to the Chargers, because you already have Justin Herbert, who's proven himself that he is going to be a franchise quarterback in this league. You can get better free agents in Los Angeles than you can in Jacksonville. That's a given fact. Everyone wants to go to Los Angeles. That's why I just wish. But I think anywhere he goes, I think he's going to win. I just hope that the medical issues that he's had in the past is subside and he stays healthy for the rest, because this is going to be a stressful job. It really is. Why he wants to leave the booth and make just as much money as I guess he just loves coaching that much, but who knows? But that's my personal opinion. I just wish Chargers would have gave them a better opportunity. The Rams are not one. That's what I said. I said if Nate, if they would have been one and done, then we clear on that. You might. There you go.
No,
okay.
Good.
Okay. Last topic. Are you done? Anything else you want to add to this?
No.
No. Okay. Before we get out of here, we're hosted Jock Talk. We love college sports, so we just want to run some. The NCAA is doing a NCAA version of the NBA's bubble. All teams are gonna be in Indianapolis. Question, locked in. So you're probably gonna see basketball game from 9 a.m. to all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning, which is great by me because I love it. My wife doesn't love it as much, I guarantee you that. But
yeah.
What will the tournament look like in that bubble, Jay? You think it's going to be a dud, or do you think we're going to see better playing and wire-to-wire competition, even though it's going to be just as fun as the regular NCAA tournaments?
We're going to see gymnasium basketball. We're going to see the basketball you see when you go to your community gym Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. You know what I mean? And there's 5 teams of 5 random guys sitting on the sideline waiting to play next. That's the type of basketball we're gonna see in there. It's just gonna, and I honestly, I hope the referees let these guys play. The one thing that I think is gonna make the intensity go shoot through the roof, Trey, is I think these guys, because they're gonna be locked in, are gonna be watching the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're gonna see, they're gonna see Sims go out there and bully someone in that first round, and then the next game they're like, "Nah, you ain't doing me like that." So he gonna go and over compensate for what he's seen Sims do in the first. You know what I mean? So I hope the refs, I hope they let him play.
I'm with you, but that's every year in NCAA. That's why a lot of people can't really watch college basketball, because the referees take over the game. Like in the last minutes, a close game, how many times do you see a foul determine who got, like free throw shooting, go in and out of a tournament? Who goes in is future in the tournament, who gets out of the tournament. That's why a lot of people are disgraced by the NCAA basketball referees, because of that reason right there. But I think you're going to see, I mean, this year you're already seeing higher scoring. You're already seeing better shot makers in the college world. So when you put them all in that bubble and you get associated with the gym, and that's the gym, you're going to be like away from everything that's going on in the world, like just in your little bubble, away from school, everything. I'm just telling, just you and your teammates, you're going to see a lot better, just like the NBA. Either you're going to be homesick and you want to get out of there and go home, or you want to win a championship in your tournament. That's where so I think that's where you're going to see a lot of veteran teams. That's why you said on Jock Talk, you can catch that every night on Tuesday at 9:30 Central Time. You can hear Jay's talk about this, because he's been consistently saying this, is that that's why you're going to have a mid-major. You're going to have a lot of mid-majors this year. I agree with you. I think you're going to see a lot. You're not going to see the Kentuckys. The Kentucky's never going to make the tournament, but you're not going to see the Kentuckys. You're not going to see you're not even going to see the Dukes, the North Carolinas. You're going to see the Gonzagas, the Creightons, the Houstons,
and I honestly, Trey, I'm looking for the next Kimba. I'm looking for the next Cardiac Kimba. I'm looking for the next Steph Curry. I'm looking for the next, you know what I'm saying? De'Aaron Fox had a crazy final attorney run. I'm looking for one of those guys in this to really take a team and just, that's gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a talented guy. Not just a talented guy, but it's gonna be an extraordinary guy to win this one, because there's some solid teams out there, man.
Yeah, even though Gonzaga is undefeated right now, they don't look dominant. I'm sorry, they just don't look dominant to me. Baylor, even though they're there's no dominant team this year. And that, and same thing as last year before COVID. There was not. That's why I was so interested in watching college, because there was no dominant team that was in anyone's tournament. How many years can we say that? Usually it's a North Carolina or a Duke or a Kentucky or
Arizona,
Kansas. Yeah, all those teams. But this year, there's a lot of mid-majors in that top 10. And it's going to make for some fine basketball. So if you haven't made your vacation plans, it's a brand new year. Vacations start over. You have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. There's 2 days. There's that Thursday and Friday. You have all-day basketball. Hey, I might want to take a vacation day here and there, have a little 4-day weekend, and while the wife's at work and the kids
or
are
you have a
taking
DVR. If you have a
Yeah,
DVR,
exactly.
you better push record, delete everything, all them old shows that you already seen.
Yeah, if you're going to DVR it, though, you better turn off your phone. You better turn off Twitter. You better turn off Facebook. I'm telling you, you're going to watch some great college basketball this year in the tournament. I'm personally excited that they are going straight to the bubble. It takes all the eliminations out of it. It works so well for the NBA. I think it's going to work good for the NCAA as well. I don't know if they're going to have fans there, limited fans there or not. I don't know. If they are, good luck, because those fans are going to be lucky. They're going to have a lot of fun college basketball.
Hey,
College basketball.
they're gonna make that lose and go home saying for real.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, and it's gonna be different without the bands there and everything like that. The cheer, the math. It's gonna be different, but at least we'll get the
raw basketball.
So you got to be. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be fun, and I hope they do it just as good a job as the NBA did in their bubble. Because I turned on the NBA bubble last year. I'm like, this is gonna be boring. There's no fans, but they did an excellent job with the virtual fans and everything. So hopefully the NCAA does something because I'm tired of these cardboard boxes. I'm just going straight up. We all know they're cardboard. Who can, with the pump up noises and half the cardboard people are sleeping like this, and then there's a baby and a dog, and dude, just play with that. We all know. So I think the NCAA is doing a good thing. I'm just glad we're going to see the NCAA tournament, and don't cave in if you have a COVID test coming up in the season. Play through it. We'll get through it. Trust me. So hopefully we stick with it, and hopefully everything goes all right.
Yes, sir. Well, that sounds like a good place to end for the night.
It is. Any final words or anything?
No, man. I'm just like I said, for the college divisionals. Can't wait. They're around the corner.
Yes. I appreciate everyone tuning in, listening. I got something to say. Today is my big cousin's. He actually is my big brother. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Josh. Thanks for all you do. Hope you got spoiled today. My dad's birthday is on Saturday. He turns a big 6-0. So we got a couple birthdays. So I'm going to get that out there.
Congratulations. Happy birthday, y'all.
So
real quick, since we're doing the birthday, you got another one?
Go ahead.
My niece's birthday, she's turning the big 13, is tomorrow. And
she knows everything.
And then my son is turning the big 6 on the 20th. So happy birthday to them too.
Wow, awesome. Happy birthday to y'all. So if you're new to the network, if you're new, we have an awesome show tomorrow night. We have Boxed Out now. That name's changed 5,000 times. Me, Cam, I don't know who else, Landon, and Conman.
What was the original name of that show?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Okay, listen to me carefully. It was Tipped.
It was the
Tip.
Yeah.
That's why we changed the name.
I like Boxed Out.
But honestly, if you love basketball, you need to tune in the show tomorrow at 7 Central. At the end of the show, we have history lessons for Conman. This guy knows the history of it. He'll teach you everything. There's some stuff you think you know about, but you don't know. He'll teach you everything. It's very, very interesting. Also, we have debates.
Really good show, guys.
We also have debates coming up, second round. We have a couple more I think 2 more first rounds. Tomorrow, it's actually going to be Conman and Chris Brown. That's going to be a great, great debate. Young versus older generation. See who knows more. That's going to be fun to watch.
Round 2 kicks off.
And round 2, and Jay's got to hold it down for Jock Talk. So if you're a fan of debates, tune in because round 2s are fixing to head up. And plus all the other shows, Real Talk, Jock Talk, Sports Minute, Sports Corners, all of it. We cover you 7 days a week. Keep it here on the All Sports.
All plays, like it's called, man. We have it all for you guys. Please tune in. We got some really talented people and some really good shows.
And so before we leave, if you comment on the show, just remember, if you did comment on today's show or any show, remember you're entered to win that free All Sports All Play Network t-shirt. Whoever has the most comments at the end of the month, you'll get an awesome All Sports All Play t-shirt. And then if you're too shy, you just want to sit back and watch eat popcorn and watch TV and listen to us jabber about sports all day, then just hit up one of your favorite analysts and we'll be happy to give you the information. And we'll send you an awesome shirt for only $14.99 plus shipping and handling. And they all come in all the sizes right there, as you see, from small to 2XL. So go out and get your All Sports All Play t-shirt. I don't know if your girl would like that for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming up. You might like it. Who knows? I don't think my wife wants flowers and candy, but that's another show for another day.
Wrap them in the shirt.
Right. But I hope everyone enjoyed the Sports Corner. We'll be back next week. Until remember, Boxed Out tomorrow. Debates. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone enjoys the NFC NFL divisional playoffs. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Until next time, God bless y'all and good night.
See y'all later.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.